Hello and welcome to my Roncast, podcast, ravecast, rantcast, whatever you'd like to call it. It's a show where I speak my mind and you listen. You damn well better listen. And you may think, hey, what's up with the suit, tie, natty hat, and so forth? Well, I'm just a classy guy, you know. Plus, we got some material to cover today, and I want you to be serious about it, so you run and get some note paper and a pencil. Meanwhile, I will show you what the well-appointed gentleman carries with him at all times. All right? First item. A compass. So you know where you are. Various medications. A lighter. A hacky sack. Magnifying glass. A writing pen. Nail clippers. A small utility knife. Let me back up so you can see that. A multi-tool. Folds right up. Oh, and of course, a gun. And optional items are whistle. Not going to blow that. So, you should have those items with you at all times to be a well-appointed gentleman and be ready for any situation. Now, what the subject of today is, and I'm going to get damn serious on you. I'm a damn serious guy, and you goddamn well better listen to me when I say I'm serious, because that means I'm serious. I'm serious, okay? So I said it. Driving. Oh boy, where do you start? Where do you stop? Drivers are so pathetic today, it's hard to know where to begin. But where we begin, I think, is just your general attitude when you drive. You know, people are just not courteous or considerate whatsoever. You got to think about the other guy. You know, if you're nice, he's going to be nice. That's a little truth that parents aren't handing down to their children anymore. Treat people the way you would like to be treated. Okay? Don't cut them off. Don't swear at them. Don't ride their ass. Be cool. When they blow it, you give them some slack, you know? First thing you should say is, have I ever done that? Probably have. So just give them a little slack. Say, having a bad day, just did a stupid thing or whatever. There's no need to get all hyped up about. So, yeah, have some courtesy and know the goddamn rules. Man, it's the ignorance of the law that is really the worst part. If people, well, at least people who want to obey the law, if they would just know the law, then that would help quite a bit. I would encourage every one of you to read the DMV Motor Vehicle Handbook. It tells you a lot, because I know a lot of you people don't know what the hell the law is. And that doesn't help us one bit. Oh, man, where do I start? Well, I will start with the most obvious one. Oh, let me introduce a little item that I have for today. This right here, let's see. I have affixed a piece of wood to a foam pad. I have a little gavel. When I need to really make a point, you will hear that sound. That is a gavel of justice and indignity coming down hard. So you will know that's a point that you should take to heart and that you should live by. You should really live by everything I say, but, well, not everything. Yeah, everything I say, not what I do, you know, because I talk stuff, and what I do is probably not nearly as good as how I represent myself in speech, but that's another matter. Let me take this stupid hat off. There we go, bald, that's how I really am. Yep, a hairless old dude, and he's going to tell you about driving. Left lane. There is a misconception about the left lane. Somewhere in the past it started being called the fast lane. So people think that's where you drive fast. That is incorrect. The left lane on a multi-lane highway or freeway is the passing lane. It is not a cruising lane. It is to pass, then you get back over to the cruising lane, which is the second to left. Now, and here's big pet peeve. people driving in the passing lane who seem to think they have a right to impede traffic. This is not so. If you are driving in the passing lane, no matter what your speed, no matter what the speed limit happens to be, you are legally obligated to move to the right when overtaken. If someone comes up on your ass, you legally are required to let them pass. As soon as it's safe and possible, move over to the right and let them go by. You don't just sit there righteously and make them drive behind you, because if you're in the fast lane and you're going fast enough, no, that's illegal. You're not supposed to even drive in the passing lane. You let people by. You see these smug geeks, smug fucking geeks, driving along the same pace as the car in the lane next to them, someone on their ass. They are breaking the law by not letting him go by. And that is the truth. Right? It's a passing lane. Now, merging. There's another misconception about merging. Now, that's different than changing lanes. Changing lanes is an option. Merging is where two lanes are forced into one. Nobody's trying to cut you off. Nobody's trying to be a dick. Well, they are dicks, but you have to merge. Okay, so it's so simple. Everybody lets one car in, and one car only. If everybody did that, it would be perfect. It works just great. You don't try and be the second person to jump in front of somebody, like squeeze in, and you don't ride the person's bumper in front of you to keep someone from getting in. Let your one car in, and then that's it. Don't let the next guy in, because he needs to go behind you. If everyone knew this and did it, then merging would be much better. Now, lane changing is a different thing, especially we're talking on the freeway now. When you want to change lanes, your blinker or your turn signal doesn't mean jack. What it does is indicate your intentions. It does not obligate anyone to do anything other than continue to drive. Right? You want to change lanes, first, find the opening. That's your responsibility. So you start early. You don't do it at the last minute. Find your opening, regulate your speed, put on your turn signal, and move into that opening safely. You don't ride up next to someone, put on the turn signal, and then expect them to move for you. That is not how it works. No, it is not. And you're stupid if you think it does. Okay, now your lane position is, people just can't drive anymore. Everyone's driving to the right. They're driving on the shoulder. Now, this isn't necessarily illegal. That doesn't mean you should do it. Stay the fuck off the shoulder. All the hazards exist to the right side of the road. That's where you're going to find gravel, stopped vehicles, debris. If you're afraid to drive to get too close to the oncoming traffic, you need more driving practice, because you should stay a little bit to the left side of the lane or in the middle, but never way over to the right. And for God's sake, don't drive in the bike lanes or the shoulder, you fucking idiot. Now, when you are on a two-lane road, meaning one lane in each direction, and you're driving below the speed limit, like you're a big truck going up a hill, as soon as you accumulate 5 cars behind you, when that 5th car is slowed behind you, you are legally obligated to pull out, to pull to the side and let every single car pass before you proceed. You're not allowed to make a big giant train from the bottom to the top of the hill, because you can only do 20 miles an hour. 5th car, you pull over. That's how it goes. Bet you didn't know that. Well, it's true. Now, when we come to a stop sign, what do we do? If it's a 4-way stop, people just pull up and they're befuddled. They don't know what. Okay, first person to the line at the stop sign goes first. I have had morons and imbeciles stop way behind the line, but before me, so they could go first. No, you stop at the line. First to stop at the line goes first. If there's a tie, the person on your right is allowed to go first. Or, if you're going straight and that person you tied with is turning left, the person who is going straight has the right of way. That's right. So, just take your turn. Don't try and get ahead of anybody or skip ahead. Everybody's got to stop and start, and it takes time, so just do it the way you're supposed to do. Pull up. If you were first, look around and go. If you weren't, then figure out using that simple ladder diagram of was I first and who's to my right to determine who goes first. And conversely, if someone is on your left, that means you are on their right and you go first. But that might be a bit too much to handle. All right, now there's a little thing about just getting and going. Prepare before you go. Don't jump in your car, start it up, start driving, and then start looking in your purse for something, or rummaging around with papers, or doing stupid shit like that. Get that shit done before you start driving, all right? You know, you're an idiot if you don't. And when you come to a stoplight, don't start rummaging around for shit. Pay attention to the light, and when it's green, fucking go. G-O. Go and accelerate at a reasonable pace. Don't drag ass through, and you know, that's just so stupid. And then take forever to get up to speed. Just reasonably take off and go. When you pull up to a stoplight, you do not leave a big space between you and the car ahead of you. Now, I have seen some really moronic behavior, and I call it creeping. People actually leave a space ahead of them so they can slowly creep in increments while the light's still red. And then they want everyone behind them to creep in little increments. No. See, the reason you pull right up to the person behind you and stop, and everyone, because you want to compress the traffic at that stoplight. There could be somebody half a block behind you who needs to make a left turn, but cars are blocking him because you left 2 car lengths ahead of you. If everyone was compressed, that person might be able to make that turn. And you know what? That's called courtesy, consideration. So pull all the way up, don't creep. When the light turns green, fucking go. And stop signs don't turn green, so know when to go. Know what direction the traffic's coming from. Plan ahead, folks. You know, if you know you're going to take an exit 2 miles down, start planning on moving over. Don't ride the fast lane and then make a 6-lane change all the way over. Don't endanger people. Don't be stupid. My God, you know, I just see the stupidest things on the road. And probably the worst is road rage and guilty. When I was a young, here's my hand, guilty. When I was a young man, I was a poster child for road rage, and it is so wrong. And I prided myself on my tolerance and keeping calm now, and it's kind of like a little victory. People will do things that piss you off, and really the only thing that pisses me off now is when it actually endangers me. If they're going to put me in danger, crashing or something like that. If they just do something really stupid that you can get really pissed at, what I love to do is just drive by and keep looking forward, not even acknowledge it. And out of the corner of my eye, a lot of times I see this ugly face waiting for me to look over so I can go, and I don't give them that pleasure. So it's kind of like lifting weights. You know, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So practice patience and staying calm, and frustrate them that they can't get your goat. Just drive on by. And the whole bottom line is you're trying to get somewhere. We're not playing games on the road. Don't worry so much about what the other guy's doing. Just get to where you're going safely with some courtesy, and everyone will be okay. Don't try and text. What a bonehead fucking... the thing about texting is everybody thinks, well, I can do it really well. It's other people that crash because I'm just so fucking good at texting. I'm so good at my thumb thing, Hey, moron, it's not that important. It is not that freaking important. Just leave it until you can stop. There's a reason there's a law against it. Nobody obeys it. Everyone's on their phone. I saw a study done once of driver attention. They put a person in the back seat on a course, and the course had like cardboard cutouts of people in crosswalks and stuff. The driver drove the course normally. Then they drove the course with a person in the back seat who was reciting a series of numbers, like 579. And then the driver would have to repeat those back to him, 579. Now, remember, the driver's vision is always still on the road. Apparently the attention is, but just repeating those numbers, just that much of a distraction, caused them to make many mistakes more than when they did without. So just the mental distraction is bad enough. The visual distraction of looking at your phone makes it just 10 times worse. And then there are the total morons who are looking at the phone when the light turns green and they just sit there. or they're swerving all over. See, that's another thing. Staying in your lane, is pretty important. When you make a left turn, you don't have the right to swing all the way into the next lane over. Turn your wheel tight enough to go into the lane you're supposed to go into. And you don't swing out to make turns, you doofus ass idiots. You don't swing out. That freaks out the person in the lane. It's unnecessary. Your car will turn sharp enough to make that turn. You don't have to swing out to make a turn. God damn, how stupid you have to be. Common sense. Know which direction the traffic's coming. I see people, they stop, they're leaving a shopping center, and they're looking all over. Like they don't know if a car's coming or not. Well, no cars have passed in the last 5 minutes, pal. And so you're kind of blowing the gap here. Know which direction the cars are going to come from. When you're making a right turn, they're going to come from your left. They're not going to come from the right, so don't be looking all in the wrong direction and panicking and not knowing when to go. Know where it's coming from. Know where the hell you're going, and fucking have your head on your shoulders. Really. Right turns. God, this pisses me off. People stay way out in the middle of the lane to make a right turn. They come to almost a complete stop, stopping everyone behind them when the proper way to do it is go all the way to the curb. That's why the line is dashed up by stop signs, because that makes it legal to go across the bike lane and make a right turn from by the curb. That way traffic can proceed around you and you're not a big dick that's holding everyone up. You don't go out way out there and make turns. Everyone does it now, which makes it even worse. It's so stupid. Another thing that's even more stupid, is people who don't know how wide their car is. They go to make a right turn. There's enough room between the curb and the vehicle that's stopped for 2 cars to pass through. Yet they go halfway and they sit there because they don't know how the fuck wide their fucking car is. They're that lame. And they will sit there and they will hold everyone up until that light turns green because they are dickless morons. Or in the case of women, they are vaginaless morons. That is just so wrong. Part of knowing how to drive is knowing where your car is, how wide your car is, where it fits, and stuff like that. Come on, practice it. Get better at it. Try to do the right thing. Give people a little slack and know the law. God damn it, know the fucking law. So you know if you're right or not, and you're not one of these smug idiots who's actually breaking the law, thinking that they are enforcing the vehicle code. And that's another thing. Shit, I broke it. It is not up to you to enforce the vehicle code. It's highly unlikely that you know the vehicle code well enough to try and enforce it. They have cops for that. They have CHP for that. It's their job. Leave it to them. You don't get over in the passing lane and smugly drive along 65 miles an hour, thinking, well, I'm doing what's legal and I'm going to keep them from speeding. Wrong. You're breaking the law by getting in people's way in the passing lane, and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, so you just drive, worry about law enforcement. Let law enforcement worry about the rest. And get to know that vehicle code, because so many of you are piss poor ignorant of the law, common sense. You're driving a 3,000-pound missile that can kill easily, so practice at it. Get good at it. Try not to get into crashes. Don't piss people off and don't get pissed off. All right? So, I don't know if it was worth wearing this suit, but hopefully you'll take that to the bank. We're out.